Hi, this is my first video for YouTube, which actually I haven't done before. But I just like to share this uh, tag mini album that I was able to create using a large scallop die from Sizzix, and I'll go through each of the page. I was actually able to create two sets for this one, and this is the first set. So on the cover, I used a hanging frame die by Tim Holtz and the bird from the birdcage die. What I did here is um, to use embossing powder, distressed embossing powder for the frame. What I did was to use three different colors to create a sort of a rustic feel on the frame. Okay, I don't know if it's showing properly here. And then on the bird, what I did was emboss it again, but before that I used a distressed embossing powder as well, and then I used some flowers, and then this spray, flower spray. I got this from a local store, and then some of this ribbon roses. Okay, on the inside page, let me just turn this around. I use a doily. I cut it in half. Use it as a pocket for some of these tags for journaling, and I used various stamps for this and some fibers. I basically used a lot of my scrap patterned papers for this one, and then I layered some prima flowers and some autumn leaves buttons for this one, and then I used a twine, just a regular twine for this. Oh, by the way, I actually distressed used rusty hinge embossing ink on most of the edges. Okay, next page, I used some old brads and I tucked in some of the fibers so that there'd be some dimension here. And then I also used some stamps, autumn leaf stamps. Same thing here. Again, I used some lace, and then I used this clip here to hold all these tags, journaling tags that I have, and then used again some prima flowers for this. Same thing here. I used lace and rickrack. Then I also used this pin. I tied some fiber on it and layered the flowers as well. I can never create a mini album without putting space for photos, because I usually give this out as gifts to non-scrapper friends of mine, and to make it easier for them to know where to put their pictures. What I do is I always put a photo mat for them already, so that they'll be able to just stick their photos in there and easy peasy for them. So again, I used some pins and then brads and then flowers. Okay, I used my puncher for this one, Martha Stewart punch, some buttons, and again some of these prima flowers. Okay, at the back, okay, at the back, same thing. I didn't glue the ribbon so that they can slip in their photos. And then I used some stamps for this, some autumn leaf stamps. And then for this one, I created a pocket for some photos. So I used Technique Tuesday stamps. I used a Martha Stewart punch, and then used some bling. And then so you just open it this way, and they can either put some flowers or no photos, or they can use it for journaling. And again, I used various stamps for this. I used Maya Road, some Technique Tuesday, and Fontworks stamps. Okay, and of course some fibers to tie them all together. Okay, and then this one I used some metal charms, just stuck it there using fabric tack, and then some ribbons. Again, like I said, I didn't use any new pattern papers for this one. I basically used my old pattern papers, cutouts from my previous projects. Okay. And same thing here, some punch, and this one. Okay, so that's the last page for this set. Okay, so I have another set which basically has the same concept, but I designed it different. Well, same basic design, but the covers are different. So let me share that to you here with you here. Okay, so this time I used the bird cage for this. So, well, by the way, this was inspired by the tag mini album that I saw from Erlene's YouTube channel. So I basically follow the same concept and just altered based on the materials that I have. Okay, so for this one I also embossed it. Again, I used about 3 different colors of embossing powder to create the rustic look for the bird cage, and then I tied in some flowers on there. And then inside, I used some stickers from, I forgot the name of, We Are Memory Keepers, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, some Making Memories stickers. And then I used the bird from there, and then used some leaves stamped on the ribbons, on the flowers. So for this one, again, I used ribbons, some charms. Okay. And on this I used the other half of the doily that I used on the other album, and then I cut it in half and then flipped it and then used it as a pocket for this to create this sort of a different style to the doily, and then again used it as a space to hold all these tags. And then this one here is a doily. Well, this is a punch from Martha Stewart. Again, some spins. Again, I used the same technique here for the page. So if I just open this up, you'll be able to see the same thing that I used in the previous tag. Okay, so for this I used some Prima stamps. Okay, just turn this around, and then again some lace, and same thing here. Okay, and if I turn this around, I used a Velcro tape, and then I have some pattern papers inside for journaling, and then I just use a brown coin envelope for this. Okay, here I use Martha Stewart punch. Again, layers of flowers, Prima flowers. Same thing, this is a ticket stamp from Autumn Leaves with the sentiment. And then this one, the stamp I used here was an Urban Lily stamp. And then again, I used this thing with the ribbon with the twine. I just turned it around, twisted it. Same thing here. And then again, I used what I did here was I used a punch to double punch on both ends, and then I retained the margin portion to create this pocket here. Basically, that's it. That is my first well, this is my first YouTube time to share in YouTube, using showing you off 2 of these mini albums that I did. Okay, so I hope you like it and you get some ideas. Thanks.